Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's the time? 10:15. So I wanted to check in because I was having a chat with one of my my VIPs yesterday. We had a one-on-one, and one of the things that we looked into at the very beginning of the journey with her was I had a good look through her social media and the things she was posting. And although she had a pretty good posting strategy, it was nice and frequent, the content was bang on, good use of images, good variety of content. What she was missing was hashtags. And so what we did was we drilled right down into her business and we came up with a really nice bespoke set, very specifically for her and her message and her target audience. And what she's done over the last 2 weeks, 10 days, something like that, is she has used those in her strategy over on Twitter. And so we caught up yesterday and, we were sort of seeing how things have gone and, what kind of impact that has made in what she's putting out. And she was really surprised to find out that actually she's, just by doing this one little thing, and she's, like I say, she's not changed her content. Her content is still going out. It's still very the same, the same sort of stuff that she's been posting for all these weeks, months, years, whatever. It was still the same quality of content. It was still the same. It was still her vibe. It was, she didn't change any of that. All she has done is just add some really targeted, bespoke hashtags into her content. And actually, she was really surprised to see that just by doing this one tactic, she'd increased her following in Twitter by about 100. And for her, that's massive. That's huge. That's huge for anyone, actually. 100 new followers that are going to be absolutely specific to you because they're clearly finding you through your targeting, through your hashtag targets that you have created. And she was over the moon, and she was like, I don't know how are people not doing this? How do people not know how to do this? How are people not using hashtags correctly? And do you know what? I think I've probably said this before, I think people take hashtags as a given. They're just there. But actually, if you use them correctly and if you use them right and if you research them, actually they can make a massive change in your business. And she was really pleased. She was really, really pleased that they'd made such a difference. She's seeing a growth of 100 in her following. She's seeing more clicks to her website, which is absolutely what you want. And she's now going to implement the changes and implement the bespoke set that we've put together for her over in her Instagram as well, because Instagram is super important for hashtagging, so you've got to get them done over there too. But I think she was a little unsure on whether it was going to work for her or not, so she just implemented them over on Twitter to see, test the ground, to see if what we had done, if what we had come up with her was going to work, and it has. So now she is implementing those over in the various other areas of her media to see if she can create a similar kind of positivity in her numbers, in her feedback, in her content, in her clicks to website, everywhere else. So she was really, chuffed and she was really pleased that she had done that, and I was really pleased for her because hashtags is something that I'm pretty passionate about. It made a huge difference for me a couple of years ago. It changed my content downloads by 700%. That's massive. And do you know what? It's really silly because I didn't even know it was that. I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was that big until I very recently put together my special set of hashtags, of 50 hashtags that you can now get as a freebie from me, that are very targeted and very specific for your health pros out there. So, you know, I'm giving you a major step up in that arena if you want to get started with using hashtags and elevating your content to be seen by the right people. But I was really chuffed. I was really, really pleased for her yesterday, because you could see on her face that, you know, that she was really pleased with what she'd done. And literally, all we did was I gave her the strategy. I talked her through a few of them, and then I kind of sent her off to do the rest for herself. Sorry, I'm uncomfortable. You know, to do the rest for herself. So actually, I taught her the strategy, and then she went off and did that for herself. And now actually, she's got a lifelong skill that she can apply in her business, no matter what her business. Because once the strategy, the formula, you just change as per, you know, whichever field that you're sitting in. So it was, you know, it's super relevant for anybody really. But you know, I am hugely passionate about hashtags, and you know, if you're not using them, you are missing out. There's no two ways about it. You really are missing out. And you know, I know I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, I think, because someone had said, actually to this client, she was working with someone in social media, and they had told her that they were old hat, and that was the words that they used. And you know what I think about that, and what I said back at the time, is that I can understand why people would say that, because they have been around for a long time, and they can be massively overused. But usually the people that say that haven't learned how to use them properly. They've not learned to research them and find the ones that are really relevant for their crowd. And that is usually why someone would say using hashtags is not the best thing for you. But it's totally, you know, it is totally relevant, and you do have to make them very bespoke for your business and for who you're hoping to attract. Because, you know, let me just whip up an example. So if you're a nutritionist, for example, and you're using, you know, hashtags like health, like nutrition, if you start using hashtags like, I don't know, horses, it's random, and plants, that's probably not going to work for you, because the people that are hashtagging horses and plants is not really going to be your IC, probably. So, you know, that's a pretty prime example of what's not going to work. Now, hashtags can be fun. They can be really fun. And I love having a funny hashtag. You know, I can hashtag pretty much anything these days. And it does take a bit of practice to get your sense of humour across. But, you know, mix them up. You know, use some of your bespoke ones that are really targeted, but add some of your sense of humour in there. Add some of your personality in there. You know, don't be afraid to have a bit of fun with what you're doing. Because there are a lot for people to see, and you've got to make yourself stand out from the crowd. So you must remember that. So do have a few that are fun for you, but absolutely make sure that you've got a really, really nice set. And when I say a set, I would say, I know my freebie, there's 50 of them, but just to clarify, what I've done is you've got 2 sets of 25. You've got one set that's seriously awesome. Now, these ones are like hot right now. Think of, you know, the Rita Ora track. Hot right now. These are the ones that are going to get you seen right now, okay? So you've got a list of 25 of those. And then you've got a list of 25 that are a little bit awesome. So they're still awesome, but they're more for longevity. They're more for giving you really good... having your content seen for a long period of time. So you've got the 2 sets on the freebie that I'm giving away. I'll put the link actually below so you can grab that. It's free, totally free. So you're going to get 50. They're very targeted to health professionals. But having said that, there's probably a handful in there that you could steal for some other areas. I'm thinking, yeah, off the top of my head, yeah, there's probably a few in there that you could steal if you want to have a little nosy. That's fine. But you're going to get 2 sets of 25. One set that's really awesome, and those are the ones that are like really seriously hot right now. And then you've got the little bit awesome ones, and they're like for longevity. And the idea is actually you combine them. So maybe pick one out of each list. So you've got seriously hot stuff, popping up in the timelines of people right now, but actually you've got some nice longevity as well. So if people are looking, a few days, weeks into the future, then your stuff is going to appear there too. And then of course, if you want to throw a third one in, have something fun. Show your personality, show who you are, show people, what they're going to get if they decide to work with you. So I thought I would just check in, do a quickie for you, just to give you some feedback on one of my VIPs. We had a really good session, so I was really pleased, and I know that she was really pleased as well. Growth in one area just from one little strategy change, which is just to include those special hashtags that we've created just for her. We did 20 for her, I think we did 20. I got her to do 20, and that's a pretty good list for anyone to start with, because you're going to want to keep them changing. You're going to want to keep them up to date. You're not going to want to let them get out of date, because they will get out of date. So you're going to want to keep on top of those. But a list of 20 is probably about right. As I say, the freebie you're going to get 50. A mix of like really good ones, really super awesome ones that are going to give you longevity, but implement them. I'd love to know, actually, if you get the download, I'll put the link below in just a bit. If you get them and they make a difference, I want to hear about it. I want to hear how they work for you. I want to know which ones have really rocked the shit out of your product. I want to know which ones aren't working, which ones are not quite working for you and your crowd, and what field are you in. So holler at me, give me what you've experienced with these. I have not just tested them with myself. These have been tested with a few other people as well before I put them out for you guys. And they were like my little secret weapon, which you guys now have the opportunity to get. So I'm going to leave you with that. I will pop the link in below in just a sec, so you can get them. But I'd love to hear from you if you start using them and you start to get similar feedback from, similar to what my VIP lady did yesterday. So I'll see you soon. I'll check back in whenever I can. It won't be very long. It's usually a few days here and there every time I pop in and out. But yeah, let me know how you get on. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you later. Toodaloos. Bye.